let us get all of our
devices.
our production devices going here.
Somebody gonna powder Dave up?
Yeah, Dave, you been to makeup yet? Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order, and there were no decisions made in the executive session, and we have Dave Yost with us this morning.
Okay, we had a airport meeting on the 11th, on Monday the 11th at 7 in the evening. Had some things pop up, it was a special meeting because our regular meeting had been canceled because of the situation in the world here. So here is things that I want to talk to you guys about, and then we got the meetings from the notes, so kind of wanted to pass out. And it goes to each of you. This is what I'm going to talk to you about. Oops. Then we'll go ahead and pass out the minutes. Robert took the minutes from the meeting, so I'll pass one of those out to each of you too. Okay, the first thing, what we talked about at the meeting and that I wanted to talk to you about was we've mentioned the ramp lighting. It's real dark up there at the airport, and there was two things connected with that. That was a light, I guess you'd call it a system, to light up the ramp. We got approval from the FAA. The last time we were here, we wanted to, get some pricing and so on. I contacted Heartland. They were not interested in bidding on it. I contacted Richards Electric, who done the runway lighting. They said they were interested, but I called them twice. They never did reply, so I would say they're not interested in it. I got a hold of Ron Wick, and it took him some time to dig up. You got to have kind of a survey of how many lumens you need to light up the best you can. So he came up with a price for the pole, the lighting system, and to hook it all up and make it work. And so his bid was $12,800. So what I done, I went on the internet. I didn't think that the lights he had picked were quite bright enough, so I went on to a place in California, and this guy was really on the ball, and they'd done a survey through pictures I sent them off of Google, and come up with some, brighter lumens that was required. So our price on that $12,800 is a little bit light. So what we done, then I'll go to the second part of this conversation. Was a short taxiway to get onto excess parking area onto the grass south of the ramp parking area. There are several times that we've needed to get up there, and the only way you can get there is to go up the runway about a third of the way, cross over to the grass, and get in there that way. So if we went from the new taxiway that goes east and west by the new hangars there and took it straight on up, anyway, I had Brock do an estimate of what it would take to do that, and his bid was $69.72. So we took those two items, the lighting and the ramp, and tied it together, which we have a grant with the state for, and I emailed them, I called them and I emailed them. It's really hard to get a hold of anybody right now to answer you. But our grant on that is approximately $45,000. So we've got enough money to do this project at a 90-10. So what we voted and approved at the airport meeting was a maximum of $25,000 which would be 2,500 local, 10% of that, and it will probably come in under that. But we wanted to be able to present to you today that price, because that's what you asked for. And would like to have a either approval go ahead or not.
So when you say 12,800 is 12,800?
Yes. And that's going to be 2,000 to 2,500 light is what that's going to be. And just a guess according to what the prices I got from the California guy.
So what you're saying is Ron's still going to do the work, you're just getting lights from a different source, a brighter light?
Yes. And he might get it from his same source. He's got a lighting engineer he goes through too, but it just wasn't enough lumens. I mean, it was going to light up the taxiway, but it wasn't going to get to the ramp.
Yeah.
But it's sure going to make, we do need it up there. And what the FAA had required was the 30-foot pole is fine, right west of Grace's office building. And then it does have to have a red light on it all the time, which is, he's got that priced in there. It's not a big deal. But then the lights, the ramp lights would be on a mercury type switch, so they would be on in the evenings.
And you put this out for bid?
No, I made phone calls for the lights. We still need to put out for bid on the ramp area.
On the concrete?
Yeah, but honestly, where I've contacted other people on this lighting thing, I would like to. I had 2 no's and Ron who done the work, and we can advertise that if you require it.
I think you've kind of met our criteria for seeking out the bids. I mean, you contacted 3 individuals.
Right.
And you just happened to get 2 no's.
I did.
So-
and really, there's nobody else.
Yeah, to me, that's a valid effort to.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree there, but the concrete is what I was.
Right.
Right, we need to advertise and get bids on the concrete.
But this is an approximate type cost. You've got here 6,972.
Yes.
Okay.
That's Brock's
Right.
bid that he come up with, and so we advertise, and if his bid is lower,
Yeah.
of course it's his bid is kind of exposed out in the open here now, but
Sure.
we had to have a figure to go by because we didn't know.
Yeah.
In this, we had to fit in the state's grant money and also into what's okay with you guys.
Are there that many concrete people around anymore?
Let's see, I seen Enrique, I think it was, up here doing some concrete work, so there could be a couple other bids. But I was gonna get with Brock to write specifications so that everybody, plays by the
Bidding
same
on the
rules.
same project, basically.
Right.
Well, I personally have no problem. I move forward. I think you've done your groundwork and your legwork.
Okay.
And Roger?
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Billy?
Yeah, I think you did a good job with that, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's go on to the second item.
Hang on just a second, Dave.
Oh,
We're going to need a motion.
Oh, excuse me.
And a second.
I move that we put this out for bids and then accept the bid on the electrical part.
Okay, and with the caveat that the bid for the concrete work may change a little bit dollar-wise, but, so we're basically looking at, I'm sorry, give me that number, 12,000?
12,800.
12,800.
We had a maximum that we had voted on of 25,000. So
Okay.
So that was where, that's the cap of it. I mean, if we can't fit into that, why would we stop?
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, Dave.
Okay, excuse me, I didn't mean to butt.
No,
in.
that was,
Okay, we've got a request to build a new hangar up at the airport. It's to be a business hangar. So this is a fairly large project. They want to build a 90 by 90 hangar right to the east of Devens. We've got it staked out there, and it will fit into, height restrictions and everything for the FAA. We still have to send in the form, what is it, 7460 or whatever, to get that approved with the FAA. But what they want to do is come off of the taxiway that is headed east of Devens, go in, turn the corner, go into the 90 by 90 hangar with the double door, one on the west, one on the east. It's another spray operation. Then they would use the inside of the building to load their plane and have their chemical spill catch, or whatever you call that. So that would all be inside of the building, and then they would come out of the building. They would have to have another concrete turn to get back to the taxiway to go out and fly. So, so what they would need is from Devens property line, which we have on the legal descriptions there. We want to go 90 foot, which you take approximately a 70-foot wingspan on a big spray plane. So 90 foot from the building to Devens property line, then 90 foot for the 90-foot building. They would turn, go into it, then another 90 foot. So we're looking at 270-foot length on the whole thing. Then come out, and then it would not be in anybody else's property line. So it's a pretty large operation. So the elevation is going to have to be raised. That's, where the ditch is there, the drainage ditch. It all drains down through there. So there would have to be two things done. There has to be soil hauled in to make it, so that the taxiways are, of the correct elevation, that the building is level and in the correct elevation. And then on the east side would also have to have some dirt hauled in so that they can, make the turn. The other thing is the new road, the hangar road that we've got in there, it needs to turn and make a turn to the north of that terrace or ditch, so it would be on the north side of the ditch. Then they would have to put in a culvert to get across the ditch with a truck to service the chemical for their hangar.
so basically what you're asking of the county is some dirt work.
Correct.
Well, based on what we can understand about this, a county can't offer work to private entities who are capable of going out and hiring their own work. So we're kind of restricted there.
Okay.
I do understand it's on county property. Dave, you have any input on this?
Yeah, we'd be responsible definitely for turning the road and everything like that, maybe to what meets the hangar. But
Right.
the new addition, that's your guys' call. So,
Well, I think we're kind of restricted there by statute, are we not?
Yes. In regards to, yes, the county owns the land, but this is a private business that is generating a profit. And so you've got different regulations or requirements in regards to that type of situation. Because, this is for their benefit. This is so that they can build their buildings, so that they can make money.
And see, one of our
Through
problems
this.
is, Dave, is if the county does it, now we're excluding any other contractor that maybe would like to have that job or would bid on that
Then I
job.
can get sued.
Yeah, it's kind of opening up us to a little bit of liability.
Well, and there are questions in regards to the actual dirt work and who's going to be, like, is there an engineer that is putting up this building that's going to look into the specs of this dirt work? And, I mean, there's a lot that's going into building this hangar because it is big.
It is big, it's a big deal.
Yeah, it's big. And so, you know, this, to me, it just seems that you're opening up a can of worms. If you're gonna do dirt work like this for one person, what is to say that the county shouldn't be doing it for someone else?
I don't think we can, personally. I just don't think the county can go out and do this kind of contracting work for a private individual, from what I understand.
Do we lease this land to the person building it, or do they buy it?
No, they lease it.
They lease it from the county.
You can't put it east of your building.
You know, I think that the height would be too high, because that kind of goes up, you know, where the windsock is at, that kind of, the elevation kind of goes up there. And it's a huge building. I mean, I think our height would get,
Isn't correct, the main reason you can't is because it needs to have public access, bringing chemical and everything like that, and they don't want it crossing the taxiway.
right.
So that's the reason it has to be on the north side.
I don't know, my thoughts on it, and, you know, we've got to do what's legal for the county and what's right for the county, because, you know, we need to save and be, you know,
Right.
do the best we can for our taxpayers on this
Well,
deal too.
and you know, we're not contractors. We're not out there for hire.
Right, but the other thing is, okay, me as a business, I want to lease this ground, I'll lease it for you if you make it
Yeah.
usable for me.
See, that's
there's-
kind of where the catch is, being on county property.
Yeah.
But
Two
that's
ways to
part of-
look at it, so.
But that's part of the build.
Yeah, but we improve the land, but if we improve the land so someone will want to lease it,
And that's exactly right, Willie. I think that's the thought is, okay, us as a community, we're trying to improve and increase the usage of our county and the county ground. And so he builds this 90 by 90 building, and they're gonna pay taxes on it. So it's not like, you know, we're just,
Probably not for 10 years. So they'll probably do the NRP and we won't get any tax money for 10 years.
That is true.
Full tax money.
When's they have a construction date in mind, or
they'd start tomorrow. They are ready for business. And you know, all we can do is, and I said, now, if we get things all ready for you here and so on, I want to know that you're going to build a building. So I said, I need a letter of intent, which they did. They sent it to me, emailed it to me, that we intend on building a 90 by 90 hangar. And so, you know, it's not just, you know, something that might not happen. It's going to happen if we get, you know, your approval. And I'm excited to have, you know, we put the money into the runway, we put the money into the airport, we put a lot of money into the airport. And
Are we gonna extend the runway then, or the taxiway?
well, that's one of the next items I need to talk to you about too.
So we're gonna put out quite a little expense too, probably.
Probably.
So I think if they're building a 90 by 90, I'd think a little dirt work wouldn't be that much problem for them.
And that's fine, that's what I'll tell them, you know, I mean, just whatever,
and as Dave said, we'll take care of the road coming in, and so they would only be responsible for the culvert and whatever dirt work they need. Does that sound right?
When you put that dirt in there, they're gonna have to do a lot of packing,
Yeah,
you know, and I mean, the county just, we don't have the time. Not only is it not against the law, we got roads to keep up and we got,
It's not just the 90 by 90 building, they're wanting 90-foot access on the east and the west, that's
Yeah.
270.
probably gonna be a lot of dirt,
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. And, you know, they want it. If, you know, we'll tell them this is the way it's gotta be. I mean, if that's where we wanna point it, well, I'm,
I
Well,
think
we
at this-
we want businesses to move in here too, but.
Sure, we want to encourage them, but there again, we want to tie up the manpower and the expenses
yeah,
and plus the legal side of it, I truly don't believe we can.
okay. Well, we can go that direction.
It's just too bad we can't put it east of yours. It'd just fit in there a lot nicer, but it must be an awful big building.
It would be, it's a huge building. And then the thing.
The height, is it the problem with the existing runway or is it the grass runways?
Where it's at is just going to, or I mean, where it's at, where we're thinking that it needs to go right east of Devon's, the height is just okay, according to Olson's, the engineer. Because you know, I've talked to them, they've been out and looked at it, and I mean, that's really, and then like Dave says, for the access to get a truck in there, you know, it just isn't gonna work on the other side. They said they wouldn't need semis, but, you know, they're gonna be hauling fuel in there, and they're gonna be hauling chemicals, there's gonna be semis in there. And the road that Dave put in there on Hanger Road, fantastic. I mean, amazing job. And then if we could, you know, make the nice wide turn there for them to get on the north side of the terrace, it could carry right on and be the same type of road right up there. It'd work like a dream.
Well, I'm in favor of going ahead and approving the road work, and then
Now, is this just through the ditch or up to the hangar?
Dave.
Repeat that again.
Well, my question is Terry has proposed that he would approve the road work, but we need to qualify what road work. I mean, is this just to get the culvert and the road through the ditch, or is this completely to the hangar?
I would think it would be to the hangar, but we need to turn it and then build the road going back to the east. And then we'd also have to have a turn because it's out of his lease area. And then the culvert would have to be for our drainage even. I think that's probably near the lease area, on the lease line as far as that goes, and then you're just about there, so.
I would be in favor of going ahead and doing that work, and then putting back the responsibility of any dirt work.
Beyond the property line.
Yes,
Right, anything that's on the property line would be their responsibility.
that's the way I would see
Right,
it.
So
but
if
any
that's-
foundational,
Yes,
It doesn't have to do with the construction, you're saying of the building.
right.
So if that's the case, then the culvert would probably be on the non-leased ground too. So, I mean, I need a clarification on that too, of what,
True.
It's real close as far as that goes. But they would still be paying for the culvert, I think that's what.
okay,
Okay.
that'd be the big expense and. you know, it's getting
They're not all that,
there.
I think we'll put an 18-inch on the other one, so.
Okay.
Do we need a motion to go ahead and move forward with this?
Can I
Yes.
throw one more item in? I had
Sure.
another item here, is it's gonna have to have survey.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have legals for that, so who's gonna pay for that?
we do the same as we did with the others.
Everybody pays for their own,
That's only fair.
okay? Okay?
Lost track where I was.
We need a motion for what now? For the road?
For the approval for the improvement of the road and possibly the culvert up to the leased line property. Build that road and
So we want a motion for the county to build the road, or move the road, or do the road work
yes. Up to
Along-
the leased property line.
up to the least, along with the culvert or without.
Well, we don't know yet for sure.
Either way, they'd have to pay for it, correct?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
And then we'd probably also add that we need to offer the lease area, just try to do whoever
sure.
the county's willing to, do that lease, so.
Okay, motion to approve the road work up to the building.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
All right,
Maybe
Roger.
to the property line. you
To the
think?
Property line,
That'd be
Leased
better.
property line.
and to lease the property? You need that?
Okay, well, let's do two then. Let's back up. Let's go ahead and make an approval to go ahead and lease the property to a potential new business
Okay.
entering into Cheyenne County. That they're proposed to put up a 90 by 90 building and offering spray service.
Correct.
Okay, motion to approve the lease,
To go ahead and offer a lease
to
to,
offer the lease of the land. And in the same motion, can we use the same motion?
You're gonna need an
Yeah.
actual business. I mean, this is can't, you
Yeah,
can't
that's
just be
true.
a blanket.
Okay, Stratton Co-op is
Stratton
the customer.
That's who I would
Stratton
have
Co-op.
guessed. Okay, so I think first of all, we need to just go ahead and make a decision to go ahead and offer the property for lease to the Stratton Co-op to extend their business and put up a building on airport property.
So I'll make that motion.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
And the second one will pertain to the dirt work, improvement of the road and rebuilding of the road in a certain area up to the leased property line.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the dirt work of the road up to the property line.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
There's gonna have to be a lot of work to find out how much dirt to bring in.
And that's another question. It would take a lot of, but of course, our engineer Olson will help us with that. And so, is there dirt available
Yeah,
for
where?
them around? Do we know if there's a dirt that would be available?
Brett did contact me, he said he would donate his,
Okay,
and he might even have somebody to help haul it, so,
okay,
which was helpful.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
And you donate it?
I'm sorry, he donated, yes, Brett would.
That's a big plus.
It is. And that's good dirt. We build our building with it. That packs and that makes a good base, really good. So.
good.
Okay, next item. Sorry to take up so much time here. Okay, runway repairs. We did have a bid opening. There were 2 bidders to do the runway repairs, and what we've got is, of course, I think we've talked about this. Actually, the Airport Commission and the commissioner voted to approve to do this. It's in the minutes from the one meeting anyway. So we had the bid opening. The one bid was way high. The other one was too high, but it was Sporer out of Oakley. So here's in my kind of explanation, there was 2 parts to the bid. There was a base bid and an alternate bid. So the base bid, what we have is to replace the places in the runway that are heaving, which it means we're getting moisture underneath the runway. When it freezes, it heaves. We've had that one crack in the runway that's heaved up. It got really close to not being usable.
Is it cracked or is it a seam?
It's a seam.
Seam.
It is a seam, but it also is cracking too.
Okay.
So I according to Olson's, what we done on the south end, which was a new process, or they didn't, I don't know why they didn't do it on the north end when we run that runway, but they did on the south end anyway. So what it is like a sewer line. It's got a pipe with holes in it, and then gravel all the way around it, so the water runs off the runway, soaks into those pipes, then it goes into a box drain and drains it out away from the runway. So what it's doing is collecting moisture, getting it off the runway, so it doesn't, soak in and under.
Yeah.
That's the
But you only have that on the south end.
right.
So
So
that's what that perforated pipe, is that what you're talking about?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
and it does work. It works really good. We do have a few cracks on the south end, but that was actually what the alternate bid is to replace the panels that are cracked on the south end. And that's kind of what the airport commission voted to approve the base bid and not the alternate. But we wanted to let you guys know what's available, that if you want to override that and do the alternate and the base. So here's what the deal is. The bid from SPOR was $751,000 for the base bid. The FAA funds at the time right now available to us is $600,000, $150,000 a year, and we've built that up to have enough funds to take care of this. Then now, because of the COVID thing, they have also thrown in another $666,666.67. So what we are at is a local funds of $84,833.33 at this time for the base bid. What we can do, we'll have another $150,000 coming to the airport April through July of next year, not knowing exactly when Congress appropriates those funds. So we don't know exactly, but it's April to July. So what we can do is go ahead and use those funds as look-back funds, and we will get refunded. We'll get refunded the fund from the FAA. So as it comes down to it, it would cost us $83,000 at the time that the job is done, and this is planned to be done in October. So when that job is completed, we would have to pay the $83,000. Next year, we will get most of those back, all but $8,483. So this whole thing, when it washes out, is going to cost locally $8,483. It's unbelievable.
But the kicker here is the county has to pay $84,000 to do this project.
That's right.
With the hopes of being reimbursed.
And it's more than hopes. This is why we fill out this 5-year plan, So we fill out this plan, and that's why we're still in this program with the FAA. So, anything can happen, it's a sure thing, but anything can happen.
So where would that $84,000 come from if we were so inclined to pay it? How would we pay that?
It would have to come out of the capital improvement fund, which at this time, there's $169,000 in there.
And that's the money appropriated for the airport.
Yes. Okay, now, remember those thoughts, and let's go on to the alternate bid of this. Okay, the alternate bid was $103,000 added to that, so the total bid on the base plus alternate was $854,515. We've got $600,000 plus the $666 for a total of $666,000. Anyway, so that puts us at a shortage of $187,000 187,848. So it would still cost us the 83,000, and if you should want to do this, we could ask for, you wait for the 103,000 until next year, until the look-ahead funds are available. And then we would be putting out exactly the same thing, the 83,000. At this time, we would be putting out more if, when it comes down to it, we are obligating ourselves for more money, but we have already paid the $8,483 on the base bid. So what the county would be obligated for would be only $10,301 to do the alternate plus the base. It's confusing.
It is confusing, but those numbers are more appealing.
Right.
And you made the comment that the board approved kind of what?
The base bid.
The base bid.
Yeah.
And if we wanted to override it, we could do it with the other.
Yes.
And what was the reasoning? Did they?
The reason is probably just like Leslie said, that, you know, we're obligating ourselves for more than the 83,000. I'm confident that we're going to get, you know, the extra 150,000 next year, but, you know, anything can happen in government.
Well, and especially as unsettled times as we have right now,
Right.
there's nothing very clear, especially when tax dollars are involved.
With the base bid, we're covered because we've got the money in the capital improvement fund. We're covered there.
When did you get that number for the capital improvement?
I got from Dolores,
Yeah, but when?
the 7th of April.
Okay.
So that has probably changed a little bit, but it wouldn't have been thousands.
Now, didn't we approve this before because we said we had to fix
Yes,
it?
sure did.
Hadn't we approved it once before?
Yes. I just wanted to.
Oh, we had approved the work, but not the monies.
Yeah, the whole thing, we voted and approved the whole thing, but the reason that I wanted to talk to you guys about it because the bids were more than what Olson's had estimated. They were like 83,000 more than what they had estimated.
Well, I kind of feel we just need to go with the board's recommendations and use the base bid. And we'll just wait and see if we get the money to finish the other project.
It probably, and what, with the base bid, the other cracks that are on the south end, they're gonna route and fill those, so they will be, you know, we won't get any
Be
moisture.
all right for a while
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, they're not heaving. The main thought was, they're gonna move their cement plant up here, they're gonna be here, you know, it takes less time on one project to tear it out, redo it, get it done and go. It's a better deal to do the whole thing at one time, but we're obligating ourselves for a lot more money.
Yeah.
So, anyway, shall
We got a
we
lot
just
going
carry?
on up there.
Pardon me?
So we got a lot going on up
We
there.
do have a lot going on. So let's just, I mean, we've already voted on it. The airport voted to go with the base bid. Let's just leave it there and carry right on with what's been voted on.
I think that sounds correct to me. So we've already approved it, so we really don't need any other action, right?
That's my opinion. But
Conditioned on the money is actually there.
No, we're not. We're not going for that extra money.
No, I understand, but,
It's still gonna take money up front to,
right, to make sure that the capital improvement balance is correct.
okay, based on that criteria, yeah, I think let's
Okay.
move forward.
Okay. Okay, the number 4 item. The airport's getting $20,000 in code funds. Leslie's had to sign on that paper. we had voted, we had looked at, there are several ways that you can, what you can do with those funds. One is to, pay operating costs and,
Cleaning services, that kind of thing?
yeah, that sort of thing. Or you can do we asked if there's a possibility we could use it on the taxiway, to extend the taxiway. And they said no on
I'm
it.
sure they did, yeah.
But they will allow us to buy a mower especially for the airport. So, the airport board voted to purchase a 15-foot batwing mower to leave at the airport. The reason for this is when we get a mower, a lot of times, and I don't get involved in this, but I guess a lot of times the blades are dull and it doesn't do a good job of cutting because it's been, used wherever else, on roads and whatever. But if we had one that's there, the blades would be sharp.
Airport personnel is gonna operate it.
Right, yeah. And that's in the contract with Grace Flying Service as airport manager.
Right.
So it would be stationed at the airport and left at the airport. And actually I had priced some out of Land Pride, and it was a little above the 20,000, but Dave thought if we used different tires, we could get it underneath.
Under the
So
20.
we would have to advertise for bids for that mower. So if that's, I'll let you know what was.
As long as it falls into their guidelines as an approved expense,
Okay.
I don't see a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the last item. Okay, if Stratton Equity goes ahead and does this hangar, which, they've written a letter of intent, I'm confident unless they, say, hey, we're not gonna haul the dirt, so we're not gonna do it, and if they do, that's fine. But
That would be their choice, that wouldn't be.
oh, exactly right. We voted at the airport meeting to apply for a grant from the state for a 90-10 grant to extend the taxiway to the east so that the Stratton Co-op could access the taxiway. We didn't say that we want, or that we're going to do this, or we want to do it if it's approved. We just wanted to get it in the system, and then if we do get approval, then have an airport meeting and say, yes, they've already, got their dirt hauled, they're starting in there, because there's no sense in approving this and planning on going ahead with it if they're not gonna go ahead and build
As
it.
soon as they break ground,
Yeah,
I think it'd be time for us to
Yeah.
take action.
but let's see if we get the state grant from, because maybe locally we don't have the funds to do it at that time.
Right.
They can still get to the taxiway and fly, everything will be fine. But it's, I think we need to give them good access, all-weather access. So I want to let you know we did that. We voted on that to apply for the grant for a 90-10 to extend the taxiway. That hasn't been applied for yet, but,
It's
you
in the
need to know
process.
what's going on.
And we appreciate it, we really do.
So if we keep going, are we gonna have to have flight control attendants up there someday?
Like
More like a
a tower?
tower?
No,
You don't think so?
never.
Looks like a lot of planes coming in.
That's good.
There was a big old jet come in here a couple weeks ago.
Was there?
Oh, it was huge. I don't know what they were doing, but
Yeah. I'm excited to, I think this has actually gone better than anybody expected that it would, Instead of a 1 or 2 airplane airport, we've got things growing, And really, that's what the FAA, with all of these programs that they've got, and they're sticking a lot of money into it,
well, and from our point of view, we're wide open for business. Come in here,
Yeah.
we want you here.
Yep.
Well, I think they're gonna find out the dirt work's gonna be the minimal part of this thing.
It's gonna be quite a process, but
But I think it'll be not that much added to the cost of the building.
yeah, that could be. I mean, it's gonna be, there's like 3 foot of dirt's gonna be hauled in there. It's considerable. So, okay, that's what I've got for you guys.
All right, Dave.
I appreciate your time of letting me almost an hour of presentation.
Well, at least we felt like we got something done.
Yeah, it's important stuff. I mean, we're talking about a lot of dollars and so.
And a boost to our community.
Thank you
All right,
much.
thank you, Dave.
Uh-huh.
I need to run downstairs.
Me too. Need to take just a few minute break.
I'm just gonna leave the cameras on.
Be careful.
Roger, cameras are on.
How are you ladies?
Good, how are you?
I didn't drink any coffee, so I don't have to have a break. We're gonna have so many spray planes up there, what are we gonna do with all of them?
Didn't think there'd be that much business for them, but I guess there is. For all of them.
Stratton Co-op wants to put up a 90 by 90 building up at the airport
Really?
to run spray planes. That's a big building.
Mm-hmm.
It's a drive-through airport, or
Hanger?
hangar, and drive through, load up, drive out.
Where are they gonna put it at?
East of the one new hangar that, I don't know who put that up. Devon,
Devon or Dave's?
no, it's
Devon's.
east of Devon's.
East of Devon's, okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi. We're on, so don't say anything.
Okay.
We're gonna be going in probably an executive session here in a minute. When they get back.
Okay, so you want us to step out now?
Not now, but I'll just report it.
Okay.
Are you kind of getting settled in?
We're trying. Now it's a matter of planting grass. It's not much fun.
You must be Rance.
Sir?
You're Rance,
Yes, Rance Ramsey. Good to meet you.
Roger Falconer.
Good to meet you. Good to be here.
This is Scott Alvin. This is actually Sarah's husband.
Okay, okay.
Can't
How are
even-
you?
Can't even shake his hand.
Nope.
Where'd you come from?
Sir?
Where'd you come from?
West Texas.
West Texas.
Yeah, Midland, Odessa area, out in West Texas. Yeah,
Dry country.
it's very dry out there. That's where I was born and raised, and
So
my,
you're used to it.
my grandparents, they were cotton farmers out there, both sides of my family, and so then my dad did the same, and I chose healthcare. I was like, I'm not gonna choose that. It was all dry land farming, so pretty pretty tough sometimes.
I think they're dry right now, aren't they? Real dry.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call the meeting back to order.
Leslie, do you want to address?
Yeah, can we go into, or I'd request an executive for 15 minutes for advice of counsel, and I'm gonna ask that Amanda Milne and Jeannie Dunn be a part of that.
Okay. Have a request for 15 minutes?
Yes, please.
of
Motion for
executive.
15 minutes of executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.